Well, this is the real demo. 2 days ago, I did Silent Hill, the the short message, but this is the real demo. I went onto the PlayStation Store. I saw that it was the only game under every single demo PlayStation Store has. And I mean every single demo of every game they had in the demo category. That was a 4.86, which means it's a 5 star. So there were two others. One of them was Resident Evil 4 Remake, which was also a 5 star game because it was in the 4.8 territory. So apparently, if you're in the 4.8 or 4.6, no, if you're anywhere in the 4.6 to 4.8 territory, you're a 5 star game. At least that's what the beautiful PlayStation has it as. So this game, so you're telling me this game has more points than Resident Evil 4 Remake, and this game has more points as a demo, critiquing its demo, not its game. Its demo is better than the demo of Resident Evil 4 Remake, and it's better than the demo of Street Fighter 6. And it's better than the demo of Tekken 8 or Final Fantasy 7 or 16, Final Fantasy 16. So you're telling me this is from their point of view. This got more points, at least 20 more points added to it, because Resident Evil, I believe, was 8 point, no, 4.69 or something like that. So you got about 15 more points, anywhere from about 15 or more points. Or I could be wrong. It could be like 10 points, 10, 12, 13, 14. The point is, it got 10 more points than Final Fantasy did, 10 more points than Resident Evil Remake of Part 4 or Resident Evil 4 Remake. So if this isn't good and they're willing to give this more points than those games, which are considered good, and those games are considered anywhere from 4 to 5 star games. So if this is better than those games that you're willing to give more points to, then that means this demonstration of this game, this demo, has to be better than their demo. So let's see. Let's see. This is their idea of a 5 star game. This is the one that has the most points in all the demo. Let's see what it is. I swear to God, if this is some Pepsi and Coca-Cola type nonsense, or some type of brand identity, because, it's a Taylor Swift product, or if, it's a Jordan product, it's some Jordan's product, so it gets more points simply because of that, and I'm opting out on anything that the PlayStation Store ever puts that are considered good games. I'm completely opting out. Because to give this game more points than Resident Evil 4 Remake, that means this it has to be a damn good demo. Or the game itself has to be damn good for the reason why they would want to put this to have even more points than Resident Evil 4 Remake. The music is better than Resident Evil 4 Remix intro music. At least it's better than that. Resident Evil 4 intro music was simply some cha-cha-cha music while Leon was doing his talking, going in the police car going to the village, which is pretty good. That intro is pretty good because it shows everything in the past. But the music here, introducing the game as a demonstration of the story and showing the story, that's pretty good. While the screen is moving at the same time. I can see why some people might assume this is better than the Resident Evil 4 intro, because it's like you're reading a book, showing that pages of the book, and you have music like ASMR music in the background while you're reading a book of the story of this game, and pictures are shown at the same time. So this is a unique art style. So how it's presented, I would say it's more unique than Resident Evil 4. But better? I don't know. The whole scene in the village and fighting off the villagers, you gotta top that to actually be better as a demo.
そうだ。アリスにもらった見張りと壊れてないかチェックしないと。うわ、壊れてるどころか跡形もなく消え去ってる。やっぱ自己流アレンジはまだ早かったか。いいわよ、笑いなさいよ、コマ撮り。
If the entire game turns out to be like this, I'm gonna say PlayStation doesn't know what the fuck they are talking about or what they're doing. Like if the entire game is like this from start to finish, whereas you have to read every single thing, and the whole game is just a reading fest. To give this 5 stars over a lot of other games, yeah, editor's choice and all that bullshit that whoever in charge over there at PlayStation. There are many different types of games in this world. There are many different types, and each one of them are unique in their own genre. So this is its own genre. This is a story game, and how the story game is presented is through words and pictures. So this is a words and picture game, so you have to size this up in comparison to other words and pictures game. So that's why I'm not completely looking down on this. I'm gonna consider it in the genre it's in for what it is.
なんだ、人のことは言えないか。うちも案外時代錯誤な家だった。寝てた。ええ。 私どれくらい寝てた
？1時間と少し。ここで眠ると風邪ひくわよ。
起こしてくれてもよかったのに。せっかくの紅茶が冷めちゃったじゃない。
私が来た時はもう冷めてたわ。
でしょうね。行ってみただけよ。こうなるとフォートナム&メイソンも何もないわね。おかえりアリス。玉の贅沢もあんた抜きじゃ閉まらないってことかしら。今日は薬日か天中殺か。ちょっと早いけどお参りってのも十分ありかもね。
それで何があったの？
まず謝らなくちゃいけない。昨日徹夜で完成させた例のあれ、意味がなくなっちゃったのよ。ちょっと目を離した隙に沸騰しすぎて怖い。そうならないよう循環のコードを 2,3 本外したり縫合したりしたんだけど。
どういうこと？
今朝休養が入って学校に呼び出し受けたの。そこで転入生の世話を押し付けられて一日が無残にも消費されちゃって、帰ってきたら跡形もなく消えてました。怒る？アリス。
別に青子の器物破損にいちいち怒っていたら一生分の口論をすることになるでしょ。代用品はあるからまた一から始めればいいわ。それより怒ってるのはあなたの方じゃないの？
この転入生っていうのがひどくずれててね。すごい山奥で暮らしてたらしくて、こっちの常識が通じないんだから。三問以下いって言葉があるけど、あれって本当のことなのね、アリス。初対面から尺に触るやつだったけど、教室を案内した時なんか失神しそうになったわ。そいつ教室で教師と1対1で授業を受けるもんだと思ってたらしいの。それはそれでまだ流せる許容範囲よ。で、私が簡潔かつ丁寧に教室の何たるかを教えた後で、そいつなんて言ったと思う？それで青崎、他の教室は何に使うんだ？ですって。教室に他も何もないでしょ？なんていうか、 そいつは少しでも説明を怠るとそのままで納得しちゃうのよ。何も疑問に思わないというか、想像力が欠如してるっていうか、想像することに慣れてないっていうか。まあ一度言ったことはちゃんと分かってるっぽいからバカってわけじゃないんだけど。
あなたが人を批評するのは珍しいわね。そういうダメな人気にするたちだったの？
みじんたりとも気にしないわよ。けど明日からどんな間違いをしでかすのかちょっととにかく変なやつなの。案外アリスと気が合うかも。
三問異界はいい言葉ね。
ところでアリス、さっきから何読んでるの？
霊的進化論の二次創作、スピリチュアルダイアリのまがいもの。
ああ、スウェーデンボリー。そんなの今更読んでも仕方ないんじゃない？
新書なら退屈だけど、これは義書だから。彼の欠点と長所を劇的に褒め上げている。よくできた冒険小説のようよ。立ちはだかる秘密組織の名前がカントとか気が利いているわ。筆跡はあなたのおじいさんのものだけど。
へえ、あの人そういう趣味まであったんだ。割とユーモアがあったのね。
あなたのおじいさん、夏に頼りをくれたけど。
よしてよ、死んだものと考えたいのに。
話は戻るけど、
いいわよ。何？
今日できなかったのは少し痛いわね。
だから反省してるって。学校優先は一人前になってからでしょ。
ならいいけど。
覚悟を決めろって言いたいのよね、あんたは。アリスは関係ない。これは私が私で決めなくちゃいけないこと。
Okay, so here's the thing. Even though this is in its own genre and it's its own thing and it's its own world, it's a story-based game where you read what's happening and then the character talks. It's basically picture a format of reading a book, where instead of you believing what the voice of the actors or characters are, you hear it instead. But everything else, you read about it, and the character plays it out. The voice actor plays it out while images are shown what they're doing. So the thing about that is, if you're not if you're not the type of person that likes to read things, or to read anything for that matter, this type of game would turn you off. I mean, reading something is good, but actions must be applied. At the end of the day, it's a video game, and a video game is not limited to things moving. Sometimes it could be just things not moving at all, and the only thing that you will interact with is the subject matter of the story itself. However, if you're just doing subject matter of the story itself, and you just scroll it down and the story is presenting things to you, and you're figuring things out based on the story, then all that's given is just that and that alone. Now, I'm not sure if that's what's going to happen, or if at a certain point I'm going to be given the ability to interact with objects to get clues or something like that. But who knows? So I I don't know yet. I know this is in its own thing and it's its own genre, and it's not really like a detective game either. Um, I don't know yet. It's too early to say. Here, it's just introducing me to the characters and the story. If the whole thing is just like this, then I don't see how that could constitute for a game to have 5 points. I mean, it's not really a book, and the imagination is not completely off my mind if they're already giving me the characters and giving me the voices. So I'm not really creating the voice off the top of my head. It's already given to me. So the only content that I could imagine is how I divulge certain things, or how I mix, match, and subtract certain things with regards to the story itself. Now, does that really constitute a game to have 5 stars? I don't know. I'm not at the end of the demo yet to say that that will make it so. What would give the game 3 stars in its own genre is the art style, is the way the game is presented, is how characters interact with each other, and how the music is on a helpful part with regards to the transition of images, art images. So that would give the game 3 points in its own genre, but that's where it would stop. It will stop there and there only, because there's only 3 things that are present that actually matters, and then you give them additional points for those 3 things to get each one up to about 10 apiece, if that's what's going on, if all that's presented is those things in this game. But if more is presented, then I'll have to see more. But if not, if more is not presented, then I don't see how this could get 5 points unless there's something much deeper going on. But if something's much deeper going on, that would be in the game itself, not the demo. They would have to show that deep thing in the demo for the demo to get the points, not the game itself.
OK ハリス、来週中に決着をつけよう。
See, the thing is, the characters that are drawn are good. That's 1 point. The colors that are used are good for the type of animation style that's going on, or comic book style that's going on. It's like a webtoon. That's good. How they use light and shadows with regards to the characters, that has nothing to do with the colors. That's also good. That's 3 points. how to use atmosphere, where the character is sitting, how the character is sitting, apart from in front of the chair, and the chair is in front of the curtains. So, and how the character is placed to the far left, that is good as well. So positioning is another point. So those things are to be considered, but all in all, from the beginning of the game to right now where I am, I would say in total, for everything I saw, I would just give the game just one full point based on 10 good things I've seen so far, but nothing bad in the genre itself. But if the entire game is this, then does that really constitute this demo to have 5 points simply based on that? I don't know yet. We'll just have to see.
それでいいんでしょ?
I swear to God, if popularity is part of the reason why this game got 5 points, or why this demo for the game got 5 points, or the game itself got 5 points, and the demo simply is carrying over that 5 points because the game got 5 points based on popularity in Japan, then that doesn't really make the game good. If it's popular in its genre for what it is, it has to be popular in its genre for what it is, with more than what's given right here. If I read a book, no matter how great that book is, if the words and the characters don't have a certain amount of gravitas and power to them, that they stand out so much that they carry the story, or the situation or the environment carry the story, that is so powerful, they themselves or the circumstance or the story itself makes the entire book read powerful, then it's a 5 stars. But if there's no great power in there to carry the story in this type of genre, then I can't see it getting 5 stars. So far, I don't see that power that's present in this as of yet.
ええ、青子がいいなら。
Now here's the thing, you could easily say how the music and how the scenery moves, how the images move, and how the words flow with the image moving and the characters talking, how all these things combined together makes the story very interesting. This is true. I would give it a full star for all these things together, and then another star for the artwork and everything I said before. But I would still get that up to 2 stars, because I do everything by 0.1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then it's a full 1. So if the entire demo goes from start to finish with this logic, I don't see the demo being 5 stars if there's not something more to do. Like Brock the investigator had interactive images and make you think and puzzle, so that's more interesting. And if it was like this with a story base, then that would be more interesting as well. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on here, but I'm starting to have this feeling that this is not looking good. I could be wrong. I mean, if it's just a story-based game and you have to read the game and it's in this type of genre, then it's fine. But I don't believe that makes the game of 5 points itself, or 5 stars itself. It has to be more than that to make a game 5 stars, simply based on the type of thing that it is, doing the type of thing that it is. When Leon is killing zombies in Resident Evil 4 Remake in the village, that's just one part of the demo that's interesting. The art and the world and the environment and the character and the acting are also things that are considered. Here, there is no fighting or gun shooting or stuff. The power of the gun shooting and fighting and action is within the words of the story. So far, I don't see that yet. about the most powerful thing I've seen so far is the way the music transitions with the words of the story. So if the music is the gun or the bullets and the situations are the zombies, the situations haven't popped up yet. And if the characters are the situations, then the music and the characters are the gun. The music, the characters, and the atmosphere are the gun. Or the music, the atmosphere, and the characters are both the gun and the zombies. But then, if all of that is equivalent to that of a fighting game or an action game, then that leaves the artwork and everything else. So I still don't think that that would make the game 5 stars. At best, it would make it 3. So I don't know.
じゃあ下
Let
準
me
備はよ
just
ろしくね。
continue.
私まだできないし。
場所は例の公園でいい？
妥当な線ね。あ、でももう一軒の方は？そっちの方が急務じゃない？
時と場合、森に変化があれば教えるわ。あ、
何？
So here's another thing. A lot of people like when stories are like this in Elden Ring or Dark Souls, when the character doesn't talk. When everything else around talks, or the words that's being translated or transferred to the other person, or dialogues being passed from person to person and they're conversing with each other. It's done in text format. A lot of people like that because they don't want to actually see the character talk or characters talking to each other in an animated form. So I get that, but that's a decision or art style choice, and many people say that's better. Some say that's average. So for that, I would give it 3 points for that. So for this, it'd be like 2 stars or 3 stars, but with 2 points. So I don't know. I still don't know. Not even. I would say it still falls into like 3-star category. I don't see it because when Leon is speaking, or when Heihachi is speaking, I much prefer to see Leon actually talking in actions and words, using his hands and his mouth, rather than to have some type of text or dialogue transferred for him. So it works for certain games and it doesn't for others. So with that consideration, the whole using text and not using text is both a double-edged sword. It's good for some, it's good for others, so I would split it in half. So in all truth, it'll be more like, instead of 3 points, it would be 1.5 points. So that's not enough to even get it to a 4 stars. It would still be in the 3-star category. It's a preference choice thing. Doesn't make it better. It only works in certain situations. Here it works because this is a story-based game.
どうということはないんだけど。
A story-based game based on
ないんだけど。
your actions is translated to the dialogue rather than you're just pressing the button to get to the next cutscene and dialogue's given to you.
今日帰ってくるときおかしなものを見て誰かに話そうと思っていたんだけど、つまらない本当に意味のないことよ。けどどう考えてもそんなことをする理由がわからない。青子、人間ぐらいの大きな猫がひょこひょこ出前をする理由ってわかる？
その話には2つぐらい信じがたい部分があるけど、1つ
いいの？私もからくりぐらいは思いつくから。ただ理由がわからないから聞いてるの。わざわざ精巧な猫のぬいぐるみを着て出前のてんやものを届けに行くことってそんなに簡単かしらね。
難易度以前にそれをやる人間の常識性を疑うけどね、私は。まあ世の中いろいろあるから、私たちみたいなのもいれば、下界から遮断された山奥で暮らしていたやつまで10人十色よ。私だったら見かけたら声かけて理由を尋ねただろうけど。暮れゆく住宅街にさまよう出前猫か。背景が夕焼けだったらファンタジーだったでしょうに。で、今日の夕飯どうする？せっかく話が出たし、私らもてんやものにしようか。時間は8時前。ギリギリセーフね。私今月がいいな。あそこの月見そば最近ご無沙汰だったし。
悪いけど私夕飯済んでるの。
Now, what's interesting about this, even though it's a story-based game with text content, is that apparently they are mages, but they're isolated from the rest of society, and they live in a mansion, and they go down within the city every now and again to visit the city. I don't think anyone knows that they're mages and stuff. And there's something spooky in the city, something like that. I mean, it is interesting how the story is translated, but I don't see how this could possibly be 5 stars. I think those people at PlayStation don't know what the hell they're talking about.
この裏切り者だから帰ってくるのが遅かったのね。帰宅部、学校までバス徒歩込みで片道20分のあんたがなんで5時以降に帰ってくんのか考えるべきだったわ。ああ、ひどい女。そういう時は残された一人のためにお土産買ってくるのが暗黙の了解だったのに。私だってこの前の外食の時はアリスの分も買ってきたじゃない。
Yeah, if you're not into reading, you would be annoyed about this game. If you're not into reading. Like, if you don't read books, if you don't read magazines, if you don't read articles, if you don't read anything that's online that requires you to read, if you don't have an ebook, if you don't like to read, period, this game would annoy you. This is not that type of game. This is a game in its own genre, so it must be judged in its own genre. So all prejudices I might have against the game, I'm keeping it to myself. However, I don't think this is 5 stars. I think it's all bullshit.
あなたが都心に出向いた時、夕食にお寿司を食べてきたのに、お土産はなぜかコンビニエンスストアのビニール袋だったって話。
The music is good, the characters are good, the artwork is good, the transitions are good, the placement of icons is good, the situation and circumstance are good, the positioning is good, the art direction is good, the style is unique, the tones, the sound effects, the abrupt end of sound and creeping of sound, all these things are good.
買ってこないよりはマシでしょ。
真実は時に隠蔽すべきね。
But that's not enough for something to be 5 stars.
わかった。わかりました。じゃあ今回のは前のと帳消しってことでいいわね。仕方ない。今日は薬日だし、おとなしく台所に立って料理の腕を磨くとしましょう。あ、聞き忘れてた。アリス、どこで夕食済ませたの？
Okay, so here's another thing you need to understand with regards to this. If you don't understand this type of world, this type of art style, this type of game, what's happening when you're reading stuff and the pictures are shown to you, it is also requiring you, it's a requirement that you use your imagination as well. This circumstance or this situation, that this transition just now, this scene to scene transition, was it a scene to scene? No, instant to instance, yes, when her face was one position then to another position, is because she's reacting to the girl standing up based on the script in the book, walking away. So you have to now imagine the girl walking away as the faces of this person. Orko, or that's how you say your name. In that instance, her face changed from one position to the next. So you have to imagine the other girl, Alice, is now walking to the door. So the game requires you to use your imagination as well. A lot of people don't even want to put that effort into that stuff. So this seems more like a game for preferred people rather than for the general audience. So I still don't know how that would make the game a 5-star. See, she's standing up now and she was sitting before. So it required that you have the imagination to follow what's going on. You're creating the scenario in your head at the same time while the story is being played out.
まあなんとなく。
It's like an animation, so you have to play the animation in your head of the images that are playing out in the script. If you don't have the patience for, that's the thing, a lot of people don't have that creative intellect. I'm not insulting anyone, the creative intellect, whoever watches this video, to think of, conjure things like that in their head, to follow through with what's going on in the scene. They just don't have that patience.
その猫が余ったメニューをくれたのよ。
And that apparently was the trial. The trial was the beginning of the story. Was that the trial? No, it's not over yet. Okay. So there's another scenario. The tree is moving to the right and showing the light inside of the mansion. You're now in the place of the boy walking and looking into the window. So you have to imagine yourself in the position of the boy. And at least you have to imagine yourself playing out the animation of what's going on in this situation.
何事?
He now is in. Okay, so he's now in here. That's a quick transition. Wait, what the hell? He was outside, now all of a sudden he's in here?
皆さんも部屋の整頓は心がけてくださいね。人間の自制心って環境に流されるらしいですから。ほら、それまで犯罪の少ない町だったのに、一つボロボロの家ができただけで近隣住人がみんな自堕落になるというあれ。環境への無関心さがすさんだ精神を作り上げるとか眉唾ですけど、正直なところ ブームだからって盗んだバイクで走り回ったり、学校の廊下の窓ガラスとか割って回っちゃダメですよ。先生。
窓が割れると心が割れる。
Wait, he lives in a mansion too? So this is not like an all boys, all girls school. It's more like only a few different sexes are in this mansion.
Mm-hmm.
あら。うん。
今ここに鳥が来なかった？
アリス、見た？
さあ、もう見えないのならいないということでしょう。
だって、いないよ、鳥。
そんなバカな。
あ、夕食、鳥鍋？
あいにく今日のバイトは魚屋さんだ。イワシでよければ土産にするけど。
So this game is called Witch Hunt. They're mages. He was outside. He's in a room, and he cares that windows are broken and birds will get in or something like that. But they're playing him and saying there's no birds. I'm assuming they can see the birds, or they conjured up birds. Who knows? Character in the story, or that it matters whatsoever at all.
イワシ。イワシか。私、あのパイ嫌いなのよね。いえ、むしろイワシのパイとか食べたことないのよね。
なんだいアリ。あいった。
I don't understand that scene whatsoever. It transitioned to the guy who's concerned about window breaking. That's how they introduce him. The two girls, I understand how they introduce them. That makes sense. Him, don't understand.
いや、
ちょっと青信号で突っ立ってられるの邪魔なんだけど、何柄にもなく黄昏てるんだか。なんだ、マッドベアに行く途中だったんだ。私はコンビニのバイト。こっちは5時からだけど、しずきは？
同じく5時から。くまりはどこか寄るところでも？
本屋に寄った帰り、読みたかった。
That's 100% true. There's no way she could have just bumped into him. She definitely wanted to get into a fight with him.
何その無理やりの顔。なんか元気ない。いつも以上にイラッとくるわ。しずきのいいところなんていつもピシッとしてる背筋ぐらいなのに、みっともなく丸まってるし。もしかして悩みとかあるの？マッドベアにタチの悪い先輩でもいるとか。
いや、別に悩みとかそういうんじゃなくて、不思議なことがあったというか、珍しいものを見たというか。
Yeah, I don't think this is 5 stars. More bullshit. Like how I would introduce this character, this guy, I wouldn't do it with a glass and some birds. I would do it exactly the way it showed it, as in I'm standing outside and walking around the side of the building and the light was on the inside, and follow through with that. Not cut to him now being in a room and there's a bird. Continue that scene and then follow with a broken window and then go to this situation here with this girl. And not have it be just a plain street that he's walking on. Have it be something more interesting. Of course, the trees and the stairs are good, but have it posted at a certain angle. Like I would put the character at a certain angle and the trees at a certain angle, and have the drawings, the design at a certain angle at a 45, where it looks more interesting. Yeah, see, this is boring as hell. I know they're walking and you have to use your imagination of walking. I've seen this in anime. So this is like an anime. when two people are walking down like in a park or through the forest and stuff, that's boring as hell.
でもまあ青い鳥っていうのは確かに珍しいわね。
いや、珍しいのは外見の話じゃなくて。
綺麗な青色といったらマウンテンブルーバードだけど、日本にはいないわよね。青いツバメだったらいるかもしれないけ
ど。いや、ツバメじゃなくて丸っこいんだ。図鑑で調べたんだけど、どうもコマドリっぽいけど。
うん、青色のコマドリは存在しない。しずきは縁日の青ひよこって知ってる？知らないわよね。いい、そう面白い話じゃないから忘れて。それよりそのコマドリって1羽だけなの？
ああ、1羽だけだ。つがいは見当たらない。
突然変異だとしたらちょっとかわいそうね。生まれた時から最後の1羽だなんて孤独にも程があるわ。どんな鳥かは知らないけど、次に見かけたら優しくしてあげたら？自販機で10円を拾うぐらいの幸運は運んでくれるかもよ。いいじゃない、小鳥1羽ぐらい。そりゃ都会で鳥につつかれるのは珍しいけど、いい方の珍事よそれ。これがゴミ袋を漁るカラスの大群だったら困りものでしょうけど。
あ、そういえば他にも気になることが。実は今あそこに見える丘に住んでるんだけど、出るんだ、大量のムクドリが頻繁に。そのくせ街に出ると見かけない。
当たり前でしょう。街じゃ鳥なんて見かけないし、あそこは山だから動物は多いんじゃない？それよりあなた、あの山に引っ越したの？前のアパートは引き払ったって聞いてたけど。学校まで通うの大変じゃない。なんだってあんな偏僻なところに。
ちょっとした成り行きだよ。それに通うのは大変じゃない。大変なのは中の話なんだ。
Damn, this is like the longest. This is like the longest demo I've ever played. All the other demos I played simply because I was talking and playing them. This is long.
すまない。それは
But of
かなり
course,
話すことだ。
it's a story-based game, so you have to be reading the stories in
それよ
text.
り今の話だ。
So it's much longer because everything is in
どうし
text.
て？
Like if characters were simply talking, it would be much faster. But because you're reading it, the text, it's much slower.
単に環境に適応できなかったのよ。何？鳥の話には随分と食いつくわね。しずき、動物好き？
どちらかというと好きな方だけど。
そう、私は嫌い。そんな私に鳥の話とかしてほしい？
そうだな。嫌いなだけで苦手でないのなら知ってる範囲で聞かせてほしい。
痛いとこつくじゃない。いいわ、バイトまでの時間つぶしにしてあげる。さっきの続き、環境に適応できるかできないかってところからね。
I don't see what was the point of that whole situation with him and the girl, other than introducing another character and giving slight hints of what's to come. But that whole scenario for a slight hint, I don't see that being relevant.
よし、まずは地ならしだな。
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why you hardly ever see anyone, or whether they're on Twitch or on PlayStation, ever play games like this. Because a lot of people don't like games where they have to read the content and read what's going on and use their imagination, which would tell you something about them as well. It will tell you a lot about them as well. Like if they're unwilling to play games like this, or if it's not within their wheelhouse. Kind of says they're kind of shallow gamers, you know, or they're not willing to give things like these a try, games like this a try. And their answer to it is that it's not my kind of thing. But you're a gamer. There's no such thing as a gamer. It's like if you're an artist and you're in a specific field of art, like say graphic design, there's no such thing as what type of graphic design you're doing. You're a graphic designer. The type doesn't matter because you're a graphic designer. Whether you choose to have a type, that's fine, but all applies to you under the word graphic design. So when you don't try at something in graphic design, kind of limiting yourself, especially if that thing falls in graphic design. Same here, if it falls in a video game. Now see, if it was music, it would be something else of a totally different genre. But if it's in the genre and not trying it, it's kind of stupid. Another reason why I don't follow a lot of popular streamers, but like, I don't think more than half of you are actually gamers. They're just shelf version or mid-level gamers, but like, and that's not knocking them, that's just telling the truth. If there's certain games they're unwilling to play, it's like, nah, if it falls in the game world, then your ass better play it, or at least have at least one that you play off it. Otherwise, if you don't play any of it at all, they're like, and not like, what the hell type of gamer are you? Surface level gamer, mid level at best. I know what they would say if they were ever to hear this. They would probably say like, shut the hell up, or you don't know shit about anything. But like no, you're just some mofos who decide to make a career in gaming and having a game channel and been playing games since you were kids and stuff, but you never really got into the art form of the thing. You just enjoy playing the thing and made a career out of it. Like, keep stepping. That's what I would tell them. Keep stepping, chief. And don't stop stepping. Make sure you go around the corner so I don't see you while you're stepping.
朝からやってるみたいよ。
Be like, go that way. Make sure you keep going that way and hurry turn around the
起きてカー
corner
テン開けたら、
while
もう
you're
あ
at
の
it.
格好でスパスパやってたから。
Because
いいけど、
the longer I see you,
頑張
the
る
more
のに
painful my eyes become.
外はあんなにも寒いのに。
I'm waiting for the big reveal. So far I don't see the big reveal yet. This is a demo. I'm subtracting me talking. Like say I was talking, if you're subtracting the amount of times I've talked, I would say if I was to conjure up everything I was talking, it would be 20-25 minutes of me talking. But still, 20-25 minutes of me talking. That means this demo was more than 30 minutes, passes 30 minutes, more than 40 minutes. No, more than 30 minutes past this demo. And it's still going. So this is a long ass demo. Even if you were to subtract me not talking at all. That boy is fast as shit. Not even 30 minutes, an entire yard is clear of all this weeds. Like he's trying to impress one of them or something. That's abnormal. Then again, this game is called Witch Hunt. So I'm curious. 30 minutes has passed. More than 30 minutes has passed. And things related to Witch Hunt haven't been presented yet, other than knowing that the girls in this mansion are into magic. So far, nothing yet. You're like, how is this 5-star?
「焼却炉」今から手入れをしたら夕方ね。
そっちはもう終わってるわ。朝上から見てたもの。壊されちゃいけないからあれこれ指示出してね。いやー、窓開けて散々となったから部屋が冷えること冷えること。
しずきくん、何か言ってこなかった？
言ってたけどよく聞こえなかったわ。
Finally we get into the witch part of the story. Now I understand how build-ups go, but they could have shaved off at least one of the scenes with regards to this. In other words, if they really wanted to introduce every character that we've seen so far, the last scene could have been removed. The whole him pulling the weeds off, I don't think that would be necessary unless that was more necessary than the prior scene, which I don't see it. They could have at least shaved off that last scene. It's not really necessary. Like, it has to be relevant for what each of these characters are doing in the story. If they're just doing things and it's not playing a part of the story, it's not relevant to the story. It's just wasted images and wasted text to create part of the characters in the story, but it's not associated with the overall story, big story, or them as individuals.
おはようございます。午前0時を確認しました。前回更新より24時間経過。バックアップ開始。周囲の地形をスキャンします。大気成分、窒素異常なし、酸素異常なし、アルゴン異常なし、二酸化炭素異常なし。第5仮説要素、異常、異常、異常、あり。周囲の時空連続体に齟齬を確認。第一種危険物との遭遇と断定。
Time-space discrepancy. Interesting. So this isn't simply about what goes bump in the night. This is about time and space, folding of dimensions.
自律回路を予備電源に、
Time shifting
計
anomalies.
測回路を主電源に変更。
Shifting autonomous circuits to reserve power. Shifting diagnostic circuits to maintain
カ
power.
メラを赤外線計測から虚数線計測に変更。ではこれより戦闘行為の記述を開始します。
Combat.
主よ、どうか我が身を守りたまえ。
That'd be wild if you actually get into combat with this type of game. You could actually initiate combat. Even though I don't think this is that type of game.
To see such cleft undish run away with the spoon
来たぞ来たぞ。
いるぞいるぞ。
誰が誰が？
誰と誰が？
お腹は減ったの？
お腹は鳴ったさ。
どっちが食べる？
どっちも食べる。
君は左手、
お前は右手。
歓迎しないと。
感激しないと。何しろようやく楽しいお客。
ついでにお腹と脛骨も。
せっかくだからよく噛まないと。
さあさあさあさあ。
もっと奥へ、もっと奥へ。
ところでダイスは細工済み？
お腹の重いローデッド。
端っこかじったエッジワーク。
どうでもいいけど肝心要の6の目だけは出さないように。
見たぞ見たぞ。
来るぞ来るぞ。
もう諦めろ。
もう帰れない。
あんなに教えてあげたのに。
よそに消えないお前が悪い。
こんばんは。話のわかる人はいる？そう。ただの墓守り。監視だけが仕事なのね。失敗したわ。これなら青子に任せればよかった。ああ。青子にはまだ荷が重いわね。そんな姿だけど、あなたたちは一人前の魔術師のようだし。さようなら、お客様。きっと一瞬だろうから、お別れだけ言っておくわ。 さあ、ごっこ遊びをしましょう、お人形さん。
いやいや、ずいぶん待たされた。
さあ、赤ずきんの登場だ。
トゥイードル。
お任せお任せ。
ようやく出番だ。あらよっちゃん。
Okay, so this is interesting, and it makes the speed of the story much more interesting. But I still don't see how this and the beginning of the story and where I am now could make this game 5 stars in its own genre. I don't see it. I see this being the transition of the atmosphere from day to here. I see the circumstance of the story where you're thinking you're hearing two characters speaking, two girls, turn out to be that they're puppets of Alice, and they're two enemies, but you're thinking it's the actual two enemies that are talking, but they're the actual bad guys. So that's interesting in regards to the story, the atmosphere of the story, the situation of the story, and how time space is involved. So I would say that about 7 points. 7 points I could give towards transition how the story was at the beginning to where we are now, to the 7 points added to the new atmosphere and everything that's happening in the new atmosphere, and a shift in music as well. So about 7 to 8 points. But 7 to 8 points would still won't get into 5-star territory. That will only make it, like I said, 3 stars, 3.5 star. So I would be like at a 3.5 star with regards to the game. So basically everything that's happening right now with regards to this game, the story, the atmosphere, the characters, the situations, the transitions, the characters, the emotions, the mood. Well, that's atmosphere add to the mood. So I give it 7 points for this. But then I will have to give it 7 points at the beginning of the game. 7 to 10 points at the beginning. There are more points towards the beginning of the game. So this added with the beginning of the game, you know, almost 2 points. But then leading up to the midpoint, I will give it 2 stars. I said that would make it 2 stars. And this, I could see this getting 10 points, but not really. It's more like 7 points. 7 to 8 points. So that will make it 2.8. So that's what I'm saying. I could see this game being a 3, even if it does transition from its current atmosphere into a different type of atmosphere. I don't see how this could be 5 stars. At best, I could see this being 4, but not 5. The story is not to that magnificent level that what I'm seeing right now, it's so great that it's spectacular. Granted, this is a demo, so if the demo cannot translate what the game is in its demo, does it really deserve 5 stars? Maybe 4 at best. And that's being generous, because you have to consider the factor that there are not going to be a lot of people who are patient and going to read things over and over again. There are not going to be a lot of patient people. So is it really 4 stars? It feels like it falls more into 3-star territory. Like this, the use of black and whites, the art style and everything that's going on in the game. That's like 1 full point, 1 full star by itself, the art style of the game. Where you're inside the mansion and where chairs and buildings and the lighting, the art style with regards to what's presented in the like interior design or exterior design, that's what's presented. How the art style is transitioned, you could give it another star for that. A lot of points and get another star for that as well. And then you could give it another full star for the story itself and the characters in the story. Like the action lines here and everything, and the use of black and white, everything that's happening, I could see having 3 stars. But I don't. It has to be more than what's presented here for it to be a 5-star game. And I doubt they're going to present all of that in the demo. Like I said before, if a game is typically a 5-star game, it's probably 4. And if a game is a 4-star game, it's probably 3. Or in the case of Warframe is considered like a 4-star game. And since Warframe is considered like a 4-star game, in all truth, it's like a 3.5-star game to other people. So if this is a 5-star game, this is more like a 4.5-star game to a 4-star, 4-star to 4.5-star game. But even then, I can't see this as a 4.5-star game. And the PlayStation classifies this as a 5-star game. So even if you knock a star from this, a full star from this, this would be a 4-star game. But I can't see this being a 4-star game either. So I don't know what the hell is going on. Even though the atmosphere, even though the music change, even though the art style change, that's not enough to make this a 5-star game. This is like Persona. This is like Persona 5. But without the 3D action. I understand that this is a genre of storytelling. I get that. This is not about action and interacting with objects. This is about a story, playing in words. I get that. But a scripted video game story where you read most of the actions and then they happen, can that really be considered a video game where you're just because you're playing it on the game system? I don't know. I mean, yes, there is the factor, but it requires more than that. It's like an ebook if you were to read an ebook or a webtoon. You're reading a webtoon. And it's an animated webtoon. Like if you watch animated webtoons, this is what this would be, an animated webtoon. But it's on a video game system.
どっちの手柄も同じこと。
London Bridge is broken down, broken down, broken down.
So this is like an interactive webtoon. So where is really the video game access of the interactive webtoon? It's very strange what they would give this 5 stars. It's a very interesting game, but 5 stars is a big deal. You can't just give a demo 5 stars unless there's something magnificent about it. Now granted, I can't compare this to Resident Evil 4 Remake. I really can't, because they're not in the same genre, even though I really want to. But in its own genre, for what it is, can you really say that this is 5 stars?
どうするどうするいつまで放置
手足一本まばたきだって贅沢だ。
お支払いは面倒でもできればポンドでお願いします。
London Bridge is broken down, broken down, broken down. London Bridge is broken down, right there, lady.
3日で衰弱。
6日で溺死。
半年経てば惨めな骸骨。
でもご無礼。
面倒だから今殺そうか。 なんて便利。自分の腕を外せる機構。
おお、お前こそ三国一のものの不要。
役立たず。あとでお仕置きが必要ね。
I could see this getting 4 stars. I really don't see 5 stars. It's very interesting. The art style, how things are presented, how the image look, how the art style is shown, what the story is going on, how it's so different from the atmosphere in the morning. I could see it getting 4 stars in its own genre. 5, I don't see it. Like that right there. That art style could have been done much differently and better. But others before it were very good. So it's a give and take. Okay, so these aren't normal people. These aren't like mass murderers or psychopaths who were just go to this wood so they could just kidnap and kill people in here. You know, and then when the veil is turned from day to night, they're transformed or their shape is formed into more grotesquities or abominations of themselves. It's more like they were created in this place rather than they were human beings. I mean, they're classified as men. It's not really if they're created in this place. Or even if they weren't created in this place, it says they're creators, so they're not normal to begin with. Unless they were men and they died here and then they got recreated. the art style is very interesting because where the mouth is smiling of this villain, every now and again an eye pops up to represent like it's the villain's eye, but it looks like it's the mouth of the villain smiling, but an eye pops in there to show that it's also an eye socket as well. Not only is a mouth, it's an eye socket as well. So it's very interesting art choice.
London Bridge is broken down, broken down, broken down. London Bridge is broken down, my fair lady.
最終報告。生還は困難。解析は困難。転送は困難。状況を終了します。はあ。主よ、どうかこの身を守り。
So final report, survival unable to complete. Analysis unable to complete. Transmission unable to complete. Ending session. Or mass session, like a game session. So if they were created in this forest, they were created like you would create a game character in this place, but they're monsters. You wouldn't use the word session unless it's something like related to a game or like a game. So that's why they were like pawns. It's very interesting. But this is clearly not a game. It's more like another dimension. It's back to a regular world. But it only happens in this forest. Only and only in this forest.
次はもっと高価な場所なら。
僕たちは？ねえ、僕たちは？
この腕抜けないんだけど。
噛んだままだと僕らも動けないっていうかさ。ひどい、
飛べない豚に用はないと。
次はお役に立ちます、きっと。生まれてこの方、失敗続きの僕らだけど。
壊れるまでに一度くらいは褒められたいね。
6の目は出すなって言うけど、6の目しか出ないようになってるわよね、あなたたち。 お別れは済ませていたわね。命ぐらいは聞いておくべきだったかしら。
This is the longest demo ever. I've played demos before, but that long, but this is the longest demo ever. Is that the reason why I got 5 stars? Because it's willing to give that much to the players to play? That's bullshit if that's the reason why. At best, this is like a 4-star game. At best. At worst, I mean, I could see this being 3 stars. Some might even saying at best it's a 3-star game. But I see potential in this game for the genre it is. Is that the real reason why this is a 5-star game? Because it's giving you so much context? Like, look at this. There's even more. Is that the reason why it's 5 stars? Because that shouldn't be the reason why it's 5 stars. Because it's just giving you more of the same thing you had at the beginning of the game. And of course there's the shift from the atmosphere of how it was to how it is at night. But that doesn't make it a 4-star game or even a 5-star. I would probably make it about 3.5 star at best. I've yet to see something that could really classify this in its own genre as 4 stars or 5 stars. Like the artwork is like top tier 5 stars. And how it's transitioned, that's 5 stars. But that's not what the entire game is. That alone cannot make the game 5 stars. Or even 4 stars. And the length of the demo, it being more than an hour, 'cause I'm assuming if I wasn't talking, it would be more than an hour or a full hour. Doesn't make it 5-star either, because it's willing to give you so much. No, I don't see this being a 5-star game. I don't even see this being a 4.5-star game. At best, this was in its genre for what it is. At best, it's a 4-star. At worst, it's probably 3-star. But 5, PlayStation people are real some bullshit artists. I swear to God. It's no damn 5-star game. This is not even a 4.5 star. I would say this is just a 4-star at best. Freaking PlayStation, man. Always trying to add bravado to games. I'll repeat myself again. If a game is 5 stars, it's probably 4 stars. Or 4.5 stars. If a game is 4 stars, it's probably 3-star or 3.5 stars. I decided to, consider the half added just in case I'm a little off. Just in case I'm a little off. But a little off still won't. You can't just say something is 5 stars. And it clearly doesn't feel like it's 5 stars at all. That's the bullshit there that's trying to sell something for what it is. Trying to bolster its credibility. See, because now it's back to normal. Would I see myself buying this game? Possibly. If there's more to it than what I'm being presented in this demo. And in all truth, when you're presenting something in the demo, it has to be more like every aspect of your game. Every aspect of your game. From beginning of your game to the end of your game. Portions of that has to be in the demo. If portions of that are not in the demo, then, or at least half of your portion of your game is not in the demo, then you're going to lose your audience. Like Resident Evil 4 Remake, portion of that game, that of the entire game was in the demo, so you knew what you were getting. Here, portion of the game is also in the demo, but it feels like the game is going to give you more of something different along the way. Or maybe this is exactly what I'm going to be getting if I was to purchase this game.
ま、幽霊屋敷そのものだけど。だいたい2人で住むには広すぎるのよ、この家は。
So if that morning sequence and that transition to the far sequence is what's going to be present throughout the game, then I don't think that's enough to be classifying this as a 5-star game. Not in the slightest. I feel this feels more like a 3.5-star game, in all honesty. Would I purchase this? Sure. Depending on the price range, and that's another thing too. I would have to look at the price of this game. If the price of this game is within the $60 to $70 range, then I'll say no, this is definitely a 3.5-star game, because they're charging more on a game that's not really a 5-star. At best, this is a 4-star game. I think this falls between a 3-star or 4-star game. So if this is in the $60 to $70 range, the full game, if this is within the $60 to $70 range, if I go to the PlayStation Store and actually see the price of the full game, and it falls between the $60 to $70, I'm going to scratch my head and say no. It's definitely not a 4-star game then. If the price range is being bolstered and increased for the star of the game, for the amount of stars the game got, and what I'm seeing, what I'm playing, doesn't feel like it fits that scenario, then it's not worth the actual stars that it has. And this game is actually a 3-star game rather than a 5-star. Or a 3.5-star. I believe this is a 3.5-star game. So if the price is $60 or more dollars, then it's definitely a 3.5-star game. I've seen everything I need to see with regards to this. All that remains is the price of the game now. And it's so weird that this is a demo and it's still going. The demo is still going. I guess this is the reason for... No, yeah, this is the end. This is the end of the demo. Yeah, so the demo was about a full hour and a half, if I really think about it. It was an hour to an hour and a half demo. Considering how I was talking, I would say it was a full hour. And since I was taking time to read everything as well, The reason this video is at 2 hours and change is because I was reading everything, but I believe this demo was an hour demo. But that doesn't excuse the game to give it 5 points. And even though its creativity is good, and its transitions are good, its music is very good, its story is good, just not great. It's good in everything. The game is good in everything. Everything is good. And maybe one thing is great. The whole night sequence. That was great. How things were done with the whole night sequence and the enemies in the forest. But that's only one really great thing that I've seen in the game so far. That and maybe the music. 2 things. So just those 2 great things along with the story. I mean, in conjunction with the story. The music in conjunction with the artwork and the music in conjunction with the story aren't enough to make this a 5-star game. Might not even be enough to make this a 4-star. I believe this is the actually rating for this game is actually 3.5 star, or 3.67 or 3.79 or 3.8 something. Anything within the 3 point, even if it was a 3.95 or 3.99, it still wouldn't be a 4-star game to me. From everything I've seen, having a great art style and unique feel to the game is not enough. The video game part of the video game, this is a video game, wasn't present. This was more like a webtoon, an interactive webtoon, where you're reading a storybook, a picture storybook of an interactive webtoon. So, but this is considered a video game. So, the mechanical part of what makes a video game wasn't there. So, by that standard alone, even though it's in the specific type of genre, that makes it different. Witch on the Holy Night. Oh, I had it all wrong. I put Witch Hunt. Okay, so I have to change that as well, of course, to my title of my video. So that's fine. I think this is a 3.5 star game. Definitely not a 5-star game, and I don't believe it's a 4-star game either. I believe this is a 3.5 star game going to a 4-star game. I believe before this game is over, if you were to play this game, you might have mixed feelings with regards to playing this game. It might feel great, and you might give it 4 stars if you're a fan of this type of genre. But for the PlayStation Store, or anyone from PlayStation, to give this 5 stars, you gotta call it bullshit. And if you're going to call bullshit on that, based on what I see here or what you see here, if you ever try out this game, then you have to believe that then the game is not really that good if they're willing to bullshit and give it more stars than it deserves. Because there's clearly people, I know what a 5-star game is, and this isn't it. So there's clearly something, and I understand that it's in its own genre, and what it is for the type of genre it is, and the type of style of gaming that it is. It wouldn't be considered a 5-star game. Compared to others that are like it, it would be 5 stars. But as a whole, as a game, in the word video game, it's not 5 stars. As what it is for what it is, it's 5 stars. But for what is in the word and the ways of what a video game is, it's not 5 stars. It's 3.5 stars. For its type of genre and what it is, it's 5 stars. But for a video game, it's 3.5 stars. So weigh those things to both together, I would say this is a 4-star game. If you were to weigh both of those together, 4-star, but not 5-star. Definitely not 5-star. Would I buy this? Well, since there's not really a game mechanic, in the words of the video game part, that's really focus central, I probably would not buy this, because the video game aspect of this isn't present, even though the story and the webtoony part of it is present. But I would, if I just want to play a game based on a story and do absolutely nothing other than hold my controller and watch a story transpire right in front of my eyes as I'm playing it. Why this is a 3.5-star game. Why would I be willing to play anything that's in the $50 territory or the $60 territory or the $70 territory for something like this, and if all I'm getting is more like an interactive story, like a Dark Pictures anthology game? It don't seem to match its price value if this falls into the $67 territory. And I understand that it's from overseas, so they have to hike up the price because it's not made in the United States. But I also understand that people who live in the United States doesn't care that you're willing to up the price of something because it's foreign. They care that if you're willing to up the price of something, it has to be good. They don't give a shit about the protocol nonsense. They care that, okay, you're willing to charge this amount of money for a game. It has to be either brand new, and this has been out for some time. It has to be brand new, like it just came out last week or this month, or it has to be very good. I know this is not a 5-star game. I know this is probably 3.5-star at best, and 4-star if you're really into this genre type. So yeah, that's my opinion on Witch on the Holy Night, or as I said at the beginning of the game, Witch Hunt, but it's actually Witch on the Holy Night. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see the 5-star whatsoever. I don't even see the 4-star. I see more like a 3 and a 3.5, 3.6, 3.7, 3.8. This feels very much like a 3.8, 3.9 game. Yeah, I believe it's all BS. So I probably, I'm gonna check the pricing of this game, and if the game falls into, let me look at my cell phone. I'll look at my cell phone before I jump off. So it got a 10 out of 10 on Steam. It's at an 81 on Metacritic. Steam morons don't know shit, giving it a 10 out of 10. This game is 4 at best. There's no 5 out of 5. Let's see, what else? What's the price of this game? PlayStation. Okay, so this is a $50 game. This is a $50 game. For what I'm given, if this is a lot of content, if I'm going to be given a lot of content, like this trial was a full hour trial. So if the trial itself was a full hour trial, then the game itself is probably far longer. Far longer. I could be wrong, and they just gave you a lot on the trial. But when does that ever happen? So this game is probably far longer than it is. So for that price range, that's kind of worth it. As long as it didn't go into $60, $70 territory, that's worth it. But still, at 50 bucks, and the style of this type of genre where you have to read everything, that's the highest it should ever go. And for the tag stars that it should have, it should be 4-star at best. This is a 4-star game. That 10 out of 10, Steam has it 10 out of 10 and 5 out of 5. Nah, that ain't true. That's bullshit. That's marketing, freaking PR bullshit. So this is not a 10 out of 10 game. I don't care what anyone says. This is 4 at best. I'm giving this game a 3.5 star. No, I'm giving this game a 3.89. And if I've decided to say, okay, I'm somewhat wrong with certain things, and I'm outing my own self, I'm saying, you know what, you're full of shit. This is a better game than you probably know, and you're just full of shit. Even if I was to tell my own self, you're full of shit, even my full of shit version self would say, no, it's 4-star. This is not a 5-star game. So yeah, PlayStation are a bunch of liars. Steam are a bunch of liars as well. Never listen to anything. Someone who's okay. So here's the thing: when it comes to business, in the business world, they will always try to upsell something. They will always try to bolster something. So if something is 5 stars, it probably means it's 4.5 stars or 4 stars. If something is 3 stars, it probably is 2 stars. So yeah, at best this game is a 4-star game. At best. At worst, it's a 3.5. Steam giving it 10 out of 10. Steam could kiss my ass. That's all bullshit. I've just played this 1-hour game. It's an hour demo, and I haven't seen anything that would classify this as a 10 out of 10. I could see something classify this as a 9 out of 10 or an 8 out of 10, but not a 10 out of 10. No, liars. PlayStation, the people in charge of PlayStation, also liars. Would I buy this game? The simple fact that they're willing to bullshit? Hell no, not buying it. Simply because they're bullshitting on it, and they're trying to upsell this. I don't do that shit. I'm not gonna buy it, and I would recommend anyone buying it too, unless I'm going to look online and I'm going to watch the story of this game. If there's more in the story to chew on, then I'm gonna buy it. But I would have to watch that video of the story of this game. Otherwise, there's no point of me paying $50 for this game. None whatsoever. This is a $50 game, and all you're doing is reading text all the time, and you're having cutscenes. There's no like gamey part of the game. So, no. Hell no. Lies and balderdash. At best it's 4. It's cool. It looks great. The story is awesome. But it's also a lie as well. It's a great game. Deserves 4 stars. But 10 out of 10? Nah, that's straight lie. They're basically saying this is better than Elden Ring. That's basically what they're saying. That this is in the same ballpark as Elden Ring on the 10 out of 10 arena. Granted, it's not in the same genre. It's classified as a 10 out of 10 in its own genre. So in its own genre, I could see that possibly being true. But here's the thing, it's a fucking video game. The video game aspect of this isn't present. This is a webtoon that you're playing in interactive buttons. There's no game mechanics in the game. It's a webtoon and interactive webtoon that you're playing on a video game console. So that's why I'm giving it a 4 out of 10, or 9 out of 10, or 4 out of 5. I'm not going to give a game and there's no gaming in the game. No. You can't just make something a 10 out of 10 simply because in its genre, this is the style of game it is. The mechanics of a video game need to be present as well. So, yep, I'm out. That's it.